Hey guys, welcome to another episode on KindSpirit. Today we are going to talk about 3 different geometries, and all of them are going to draw lines on our screen, but in 3 completely different ways. So for purpose of this tutorial I have this small piece of data that we are going to use for plotting, and now I'm going to create the most famous line geometry, GEOM line, and I'm going to provide aesthetics of X and Y, and let's color it with red, and line type, let's say dashed to be fancy, and line width of 0,5. Okay, run it. And at top of this I'm going to create one GEOM point. Just in order to mark values, I'm going to use same aesthetics of X and Y, and color. I'm going to use some darker shade of green, let's say 25, 66, 25, and let's say size of 2. I believe this is going to be fine. So as you see, with the GEOM line we are actually connecting values from our data. So one on x-axis and one on y-axis. This is this point in here. Now we have 2 on x and 3 on y, that is this point. And third point, it's 3 on x and 7 on y, that is this point in here. And GEOM line has connected those 3 points. But now if we instead of GEOM line use another geometry, GEOM path, you are going to see that nothing is going to be changed. Why is that? So what is the difference in between a GEOM line and GEOM path? Why we have 2 geometries that work in exactly the same way? Well, they do work in exactly the same way, but only in this particular case. GEOM path is actually plotting lines in regards of values from our data source, while GEOM line is actually plotting values from y-axis along x-axis. And with that we are going to end up with exactly the same result in most of cases. But let me show you when those 2 are working in completely different way. If I add value of 2 to x-axis at the end, and let's say I add value of 6 at the end of y-axis, if we plot with GEOM line, let me show you what is going to happen. First we have a point one on x-axis and one on y-axis, that is this point. Then we have point on 2 on x-axis and 3 on y-axis, and that is this point. And then GEOM line realized that actually there is one more point on x-axis but with different value on y-axis, and that is this point. So in that way we got this second line. And from that moment on, every single element on x-axis had only one value on y-axis. But if you plot this exact same data with GEOM path, you are going to get completely different result. Save it, run it. So as I said, GEOM path is following source data point for point. So in this case, first position it's 1, 1. Second position it's 2, 3. Third position it's 3, 7, and so on to our last position, that is again second element on x-axis but with value of 6. So I truly hope that you understand this, because this is main and the only difference in between these 2 functions. And we have one more function for line plottings, and that is GEOM step. If I run this code, you see what we got. So as you see, in regards of multiple values on x-axis, GEOM step behaves in the same way as GEOM line. But instead of getting broken lines, we are having these kind of steps. So what is happening in here? From point 1, 1, we are following horizontal line up to the point when actually y value is changed. And that is position 1 on x-axis. So in here we have 2 values. We have value of 3 and we have value of 6. And then we are following again horizontal line up to element 3 on x-axis. And then value is changed to 7. And so on up to the end. So guys, this is all for this episode. I truly hope that you have learned something interesting, so please like, subscribe and see ya!